To celebrate the first draft of ACOTAR 6, I'm making an ACOTAR-themed book nook. And I've held onto the box from my box set for like 2 years, planning on making this, and now I'm finally going to do it. And I have made one other book nook before. It was Fourth Wing themed, and it was a lot harder to make because I had to construct the box myself. And obviously this has to be Valaris themed, so I went to Pinterest for inspo, and I got to drawing. And by the way, this is sped up like 8 times because I draw so incredibly slowly. So I did a couple options for the layout, but I went with one, and then I needed paper because I didn't want to paint directly into the box. And honestly, this is just me sort of flexing because I was kind of good. It wasn't bad. Was not bad. Anyway, so I measured the box, cut out the paper, and this was way harder than it should have been. I guess I just can't measure. I don't know. And I was planning on using gouache, and then I had this absolute jump scare with the mold. Hadn't opened the palette in a while. Ugh. And it was all up in there. So I didn't want mold growing inside my book nook, so I went with acrylic paint. Which was the right choice, I think. It was the right choice. Anyway, I started painting, and I am no Bob Ross. Landscape's not my thing. So I tried to channel my inner Feyre here, and, I made it work, I think. Like, it's okay. I mean, I've been looking at it a while. So I think it's okay, though. I think it's okay. And now, peeling that tape off is the most satisfying part of this. But I cut it out, made sure it fit in the box. It did, so I cut the rest out. Had to do the other side, made sure it lined up, and it did pretty seamless, I think. Pretty good. So I did the other side, and again, the tape peeling, so satisfying. But I cut everything out now, made sure it all lined up. It did. It fit. I hot glued it all in, and then I went back, painted in the cracks so there was no white showing. And I added in the lights, but if I were smart, I would have done this a little bit differently, I think. But it works. It works. And so I did the stars next, and again, if I were smart, I would have done it before I glued it all in, but it worked, and I added glitter, and I think it all looked pretty good. And then next I constructed the 3D elements, the mountains, and the city, which took a little bit of work to figure out how to make it work, but I got it, painted it. I wasn't liking it once I dry brushed it, though. It added a bunch of depth. And at this point, you might say that hot glue gun is really close to your finger, and you'd be right. That hurt. Added the water in with this resin stuff I got, and then I decapitated one doll and recapitated it onto another body so that Cassian would have long hair. But they're the bad boys. Here is the finished product. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think it's okay. I've been looking at it a while. In a few days, I think it'll be pretty good. But here she is in all of her glory on the shelf next to my other SJM books. And of course, I needed the opinion of the only person who matters. He didn't have much to say, but I bribed him with scritches.
This is the best book nook I've ever seen!
Anyway, it's not perfect, but it's been a while since I've made anything crafty. Most importantly, what book should I make a book nook for next?